Hey, you with the emotional eating problem, or the stress eating problem, or the food addiction problem, or the weight loss problem. I have the solution for you, and it's not going to involve any dieting or deprivation. Hi there. For those of you that are unfamiliar with me, my name is Dr. Kirsten Grant, and if you are like me, then you know how tough it can be to overcome emotional eating. But what if I told you that there was a solution that didn't involve any dieting or deprivation? In this episode of the Dr. Grant Show, I'm going to show you how to end emotional eating once and for all using some simple techniques. So stay tuned because this is going to be good. We're going to be reviewing the following topics. Number one, understanding your emotions. 2, finding healthier ways to deal with your emotions. 3, no temptations. 4, make time for yourself. 5, catalog and identify negative emotions. And 6, seek professional help if needed. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I know I certainly am. So let's get into topic number 1, understanding your emotions and your triggers. This is different than what you may have originally anticipated. Often, when we talk about ending emotional eating now, ending emotional eating for good, what's often pitched are short-term solutions, certain logistics. But these things only exist in a vacuum. The way they need to be integrated and the secret mistakes that people have been making in the past, including clients of mine in my digital wellness practice, is trying to implement these things in certain steps or by themselves without understanding these things that I'm going to be covering with you today. Understanding your emotions and triggers, it has many facets. Understanding who triggers you, what environmental situations trigger you, your emotional state and mindset and how that could be triggered, even what side you roll out of the bed in the morning. All of these things make a huge and significant difference to the mental guard at the gate, so to speak, and its ability to function, to keep you on course, to make sure that you have the energy to actually say yes to what you're supposed to say yes to, and no to what doesn't serve you. And this can fluctuate day after day after day. The key is to be aware of your emotional patterns and your triggers and have, which dovetails into number 2, healthier ways to deal with your emotions. And this is extremely important because finding healthier ways to deal with your emotions, often what has been talked about in the past is, when you're angry, when you're hungry, try going out for a walk. This is the biggest mistake ever. And feel free to type in the chat if you've ever heard these kinds of bits of advice. If you are feeling hungry, drink a glass of water, eat less and exercise more. Take the food out of the house that's normally tempting you. At a certain point, these healthier suggestions can be used and can come into play. However, when you're standing at the precipice of the emotion that's triggering you or that's draining you and it's been left unattended, perhaps even to fester, telling someone to go for a walk when they can't possibly summon the energy to put one foot in a shoe is the equivalent of giving a whale a tic tac. It's just simply not an effective approach. Instead, in my digital wellness practice, what we do is find out at what point, what stage for your chapter that you're in your life right now, what could be the healthiest approach to deal with your emotions? And also, most importantly, to face that emotion and understand its root source. Ask yourself for the next time that you're dealing with an emotion that feels uncomfortable, what is it about this emotion that's making me feel so uncomfortable that later on I'm seeking relief and I'm seeking a way to cope by eating something that wasn't my plan, that I want to eat, or I just simply have it in my mind. I'm thinking with the core essence of my being that I want it, the item that you swore you weren't going to eat. This is the key to ending emotional eating now. Unearthing the answer to these types of questions and scenarios. Number 3, know temptations and create healthy boundaries. Understanding and knowing and have an ongoing inventory of what your temptations are. And this is about more than the particular food item, sweet versus savory, driving past your particular item that you, or your store that you like to get. This is about more, so much more than that. This is about knowing the situations that make the items that you resort to as food for comfort, food for coping, food for calming, so that instead of you saying what you really wanted to say to your boss or that loved one, you're instead eating the pint of ice cream instead. This is about knowing what environment tempts you. This is about knowing what truly your heart and your soul need. Feel free to type in the chat, what do you know that you need? Are you aware of what it is at this point, this stage, as you watch this right now? Are you aware of what it is that you need? It's not about the money. I have helped people in my digital wellness practice succeed at securing thousands of dollars in contracts and productivity and presentations once we begin to understand what their temptations are and why their emotions rear up and cause them to eat their trigger foods. This is about understanding what is the driving force behind that need for a certain level of financial freedom. What will that give you? And when you don't get it, when the gap and the chasm between where you are right now and as you stand and where you want to be feels so wide and immense and filled with roadblocks, barbed wire, ponds, and alligators, what do you do? Do you turn to food? Does food become more of a temptation? This is what I mean by emotional eating. And once people learn what the answers are to these questions, the process can begin of ending emotional eating now. Number 4, making time for yourself each day. This is different than what most people will usually tell you about making time for yourself each day. This is about understanding what recharges you, what refills your cup. Are you the kind of person where making time for yourself each day means that you stop everything and you decide to read a book? Are you the type of person where making time for yourself each day is giving to someone else that might be in need, maybe giving them your time or giving them a gift, solving a problem for them? Maybe there's something that they've been struggling with for the past day or two, but it's something that for you is your typical Tuesday. So it's easy for you to come up with the answer. Make time for yourself each day can look and feel different for everyone. The key is to understand what feels best and what recharges your batteries. Is it working on that laundry list? Is it working on the laundry? Is it working on something that's on your to-do list that's been sitting there winking at you for the past year? Writing that book, painting that wall, clearing out something, taking that class and getting that certification so that you could become more marketable for certain job opportunities at this job or the next. It's the feeling of momentum, the feeling of inertia, the feeling of progress. There are no right or wrong answers here. The only answer that counts is the one that works for you. Number 5, and this is a big one, catalog and identify negative emotions. I can't emphasize this enough. Over the last year, I'm certain a lot of us have been through some ups and downs. Hopefully more ups and downs. But no matter where you are in your headspace right now, as you are watching today's episode or catching it on the replay, identify right now 5 negative emotions that you felt in the past year. If the past year is too big of a time gap, the last 90 days. If the last 90 days is too big of a time gap, the last 2 weeks. Identify the last 5 negative emotions, and then on top of that, identify the last 5 situations that made you feel that way. Write this down. If you don't write it down, if you don't face it, you don't make progress, and you don't move towards ending emotional eating or stress eating or moving towards losing weight. Now, next, ask yourself for each one of those situations, what made me feel this way? Did I feel unheard? Did I feel unseen? Did I feel put upon, stepped upon? Did I feel, and you can fill in the blank, what made me feel this way about the situation? Asking yourself these types of questions is a great way to move towards cataloging those negative emotions and understanding what your true triggers are and what you've been using food to soothe. It also begins to help you identify and search for what are the right words that you need to be looking for to say in order to address and pivot on this situation. Did you feel that you put so much work into that project, yet you didn't get the full credit? Did you feel that you worked so hard and so long and you only received a fraction of recognition and acknowledgement that you would have hoped? There is no right or wrong answer, and you are also not alone. But taking these steps is the first crucial step to ending emotional eating and stress eating and beginning your weight loss journey in a way that is sustainable and that can last for a lifetime. Finally, number 6, seek professional help if needed. I created the Dr. Grant Show to help people that struggle with emotional eating, weight loss, food addiction, and obesity by giving them practical tips that pertain to key elements and facets of their life that have been blocking them from where they truly and who they truly need to be. This is because I observed my mother throughout her entire life struggling with food addiction and emotional eating. And we lost her because she never found the answer. And in my digital wellness practice, that's what we've dedicated ourselves towards, helping you find the answer. This is not about what food to eat. And that will come. This is not about what exercise to do. Pick the exercise that you love and stick with it consistently 5 days a week, and you've got magic. Deep down inside, most people know this. So why don't we do it? In the age of social media, we are positively awash in information that will help you build a better lifestyle, build better abs, lose weight. Yet the obesity rate is soaring steadily. Over 60% of Americans right now are either overweight or obese. So information is not the answer. Comprehensive caring and guidance where you can feel free to be vulnerable and work towards solutions that are hand-tailored to work with your life and where you stand at this time, this place, and this chapter of your life, that works. If what I've said to you resonates with you, it makes sense, it's what you feel deep down you might be looking for, then I invite you to reach out. You can reach me at our corporate number at 312-601-8510. You can also grab our free guide that's available that's going to help you end emotional eating before 2023. It's available for a short time only. All right, guys, thank you for watching the Dr. Grant Show. We are on every single week and also all over social media. Much love to you. Bye.